All right, good morning, everyone. Mike here with the National Weather Service office in Cleveland. Thought we would do a Facebook Live video with you this morning to let you know about the updated severe weather risk for late this afternoon into this evening across our area. Again, we'll wait a few seconds for people to hop on here for questions. But again, if you got any questions, feel free to answer them. I want to show you what we're looking at, what we can expect over next later on today. So most of the weather today is actually going to be quiet up to about mid-afternoon today. In fact, looking outside at our window here, it is actually a nice day. Sunny skies, warm temperature, about 80 degrees out there at the weather station here at the Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. But let me show you what we're looking at. And again, this is a look at some different satellite imagery here. We're looking at, you can see the swirl right here over the Missouri Ozarks. This is the storm system that will fire off around the nasty weather for parts of the Great Lakes region down to Ohio, into Ohio and Ohio Valley. Again, you can see a swirl right here, and this is going to interject with the heat and humidity that we have out there right now. If you haven't stepped outside, it is very, very tropical, and this will be the mechanism to make things, the atmosphere, very, very angry this afternoon. So I want to plug in or give a plug to our weather radio. You really want to have one of these available if possible. This will be your friend later on today when we have some watches and warnings that will probably likely happen later on today. So right now the radar is quiet. We have nothing out there on the radar. I had a few sprinkles or thunderstorms earlier out toward Erie, PA early this morning, but right now it's quiet, so don't expect anything really here between now and lunchtime. It's pretty much going to be just a humid, breezy, gusty day, and temperatures going back up to the low 90s, which we could actually tie or break another record high here in the area. The record for Cleveland is 92. We're forecasting about 91 or 92 this afternoon, so we could see another record high later on today. So let me show you what we can expect. Actually, let me show you the threat level, then I'll show you the radar here in a second, the future radar. Again, we do have that moderate risk for severe weather. So this is the red area from lower Michigan, southeast Michigan, clips northeastern Indiana near Fort Wayne, and then all of Toledo's area down toward Findlay and out toward the islands. So in Sandusky, this northwest corner of Ohio is going to be the main area of nasty weather. But then the enhanced risk does extend all the way down to central Ohio and to our area here in Cleveland and parts of northeast Ohio. So again, the enhanced risk is pretty much the entire region of our local area, the northern Ohio, and then the moderate risk is out into northwest Ohio. And then out in northwest PA, we still have that slight risk, which will start kind of slowing down or winding down as it gets closer to Erie, PA in that area. So again, the wind is going to be the main threat. We're looking at the dynamics in the system, and the squall line is going to have a potential for hurricane force winds and some gusts. We're looking at the squall line developing with a lot of wind, a lot of damaging wind, 60, 70, up to 75 miles per hour possible with the squall line that moves through. And again, the highest risk area is going to be that northwest corner of Ohio, and then gradually getting into the Cleveland area. And as it moves eastward, it'll start weakening late tonight as it moves in toward Pennsylvania. There is a limited tornado risk. There's a lot of shear and a lot of dynamics with the system, so the tornado threat is not zero. We do expect to see possibly the potential for a couple tornadoes in the area. The best chance is going to be from Cleveland westward into northwest Ohio, up into Michigan. There is a chance for a couple tornadoes with this. And again, hail is not going to be that big of a deal. There will be probably some small hail, but the freezing level is so high, very tropical air mass outside and very warm. It's really going to be hard to get large hail, but we could see some hail, so we can't say it's not zero. But again, the hail is not the threat that we're looking for. It's the wind, the damaging wind gusts that are going to be happening later on this evening, overnight tonight, and then the possibility for a few isolated tornadoes. So again, I want to let you know that Storm Prediction Center, you can get those latest outlooks throughout the day today at spc.noaa.gov. And let's go ahead and look at the future radar. I'll go hour by hour here and step you through what we expect to happen. So this is the 4-kilometer NAM, and it's been kind of very consistent. It actually shows a really good illustration of what could possibly happen with the future radar later on this afternoon. So again, you see pretty much quiet weather about 3 p.m. Still quiet across the region. Can't rule out a pop-up shower or pop-up storm, but very isolated because the atmosphere is going to be very, very capped, and that means a very warm layer of air above the surface. It's not going to allow anything to really pop until we get this front that comes in later on this evening. So advance the clock here. Here's 4 p.m. And then here's 5 p.m. You can see this broken line. This is the squall line developing out here in Indiana. But we'll have to watch these discrete cells that will pop up ahead of the squall line. And so this is the area that we'll have to watch out for the potential of either some discrete cells or some supercells, and those can be capable of producing maybe an isolated tornado or two. And again, you see the squall line advancing into western Ohio by 6 p.m. this evening. The rest of the area quiet. Don't worry about right there. It's out in western Ohio right here about 6 p.m. Here's that squall line, and then you can see these individual cells popping up out ahead of that. That's what those discrete cells we have to watch out for. This very humid and very warm atmosphere. So by 7 p.m., it's in the Toledo area down the I-75 corridor. Very nasty storms. Again, as we advance the clock here by 8 p.m., it's congealing into a very solid line with these little mini bows. And this is what we're really kind of worried about. You kind of see these kinks in the bow or kinks in the line. These will be areas of enhanced damaging wind gusts when this happens and blows through later on this evening. As it keeps on moving across northern Ohio, it's going to be moving about 50 miles an hour, so it's going to be going at a pretty good clip. We expect it to be in the I-71 corridor sometime between 9 and 11 p.m. Here it says about 10 p.m. from Lorain County down to Mansfield, and then moving into the western portions of the Cleveland metro area about 10 p.m. this evening, crossing through about 11 through Canton down the I-77 corridor. As we head into later in the evening, you can kind of see the line starts weakening here about midnight tonight as it moves out of eastern Ohio into parts of western and northwestern PA. We're looking at this line still strong and severe, but losing some of its punch. And then by the time it gets up into northwestern PA, it's really starting to fall apart. Still some wind gusts, damaging wind gust potential, but again, not as severe as it is going to be in parts of Ohio. And then by 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, it's out of here and everything's pretty much done. So again, that time frame that we're worried about is out west between 4 and 8, in the middle 7 to 11, and then out east we're looking about 10 to 1 o'clock in the morning, far eastern Ohio and northwestern PA. Okay, so we got a few minutes for questions before I got to let you go and do some other work. But if you have any questions, let me roll through here and see if we have any questions from anyone. Let's see. Someone asked about watches with the environment and with the storms developing later today. There will likely be watches in the area somewhere in that enhanced and moderate risk area. All right, so any other questions? Don't have any timeline yet on the watches, but a good thing to do. Oh, let me show you one more thing before I let you go. Ways to get information. Always have a way to stay alert or get weather information, severe or warnings and alerts. So again, the NOAA Weather Radio is going to be your buddy, your friend today. Also follow or listen to your local TV media. They will be on top of this. We'll be working with them behind the scenes on our chat system, letting them know exactly where the worst of the weather is going to be. Also, your alerts on your phone, they're free, and you have that setting turned on if you like. It's under your settings in your smartphone. Also, the web pages spc.noaa.gov and weather.gov/Cleveland. Also, follow us on social media. We're on social media at NWS Cleveland on Facebook and on Twitter at NWS Cle. So again, I want to let you know that today's one of those days you really want to pay attention to the weather, especially out west of the Cleveland area, Toledo, Findlay, the I-75 corridor. If you have friends and family up in Michigan, lower Michigan, make sure they're paying attention to the weather. It's going to be a nasty day, and we're going to have a lot of damaging wind gusts with that squall line pushing through later on this evening. If you have any other questions, feel free to put them on here on social media. We'll be checking throughout the day, and we will be giving you all the latest information later on this afternoon when we see more of the model data coming in and things start developing out to our west. Stay safe, everyone, and we will talk to you later.